Have you ever told yourself that exhaustion as a physician or a nurse or any other healthcare worker is just part of the job? But then you realize it is the bone deep exhaustion, not just the tiredness that not even rest and recovery helps. Well, I've been there too. Hi there, I am Dr. Santina or Tina Wheat. I am an academic family physician and I'm a career and life coach for healthcare professionals. I help you conquer that chaos to help you get to calm. Now, if you are feeling exhausted, not tired, but that bone deep exhaustion that just does not go away after a weekend off or even a full vacation, then you are certainly not alone. And more importantly, you are not broken, but there's things that we can do to help support you. And so today, I want to talk about why so many of us in healthcare feel like we cannot take anything off of our plate, even when we are completely overwhelmed. Because the truth is, it is not just about how much you are doing, it is about what you are doing and why you are doing it. Now, I remember this feeling so clearly. After training, I thought things would get better. I would tell myself, once I get through this next project, once my kid reaches this age, once I finally get some rest and a good night's sleep. But every time I hit one of those milestones, something else popped up. There was an additional shift that needed to be covered. There was a family need. There was a committee that I really should say yes to. There was something I just felt like I had to hold on to myself. Now, it felt like my life was running on a system that I did not choose, and I definitely did not have the manual of how to do it. There was no strategy involved. So let's talk about that sense of responsibility. There is that pull to say yes to absolutely everything. Now, in medicine and other helping professions, we are always taught to carry more. We are taught that you need to show up, that you need to fix things, that you have to cover the gaps, and we have to be there for everyone else. And let's be honest, for a while, it does work. It gets rewarded. It gets rewarded with things like the degrees, the praise, the recognition, and passing those high stakes exams. But at some point, that mindset really does start to hurt more than it helps. We lose the ability to say no because everything feels urgent. And when everything feels urgent, nothing feels clear. When everything is urgent, there are no true priorities. And that is when we move from feeling motivated to feeling overwhelmed. When we move from feeling committed to feeling resentful. And eventually, this leads to us feeling burned out. So here is what I have seen in my own journey and in the lives of my clients. This is not just a time management issue. It truly is an identity issue. We have been successful because we have learned to say yes, and that becomes part of our identity. We've been successful because we're capable, we are reliable, and hardworking. But when we hold on to everything, we lose our ability to move forward without breaking. And there is so much guilt and fear that is tied up in letting go. We worry that we will look lazy or like we don't care, and we don't want anyone to think that of us because we fear judgment or that we will let someone else down. But here is the truth. Letting go of some things does not mean that you don't care. It means that you are choosing to care in a way that is sustainable for you and for those around you. It is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of wisdom. So what needs to change? Well, certainly not everything, and certainly not everything all at once. But something really does need to change. In identifying what needs to change, you can start by identifying the differences between the purpose-aligned tasks, the things that light you up, that make you proud, and importantly, connect with your values, and the energy-sucking obligations, the things that you do out of guilt, habit, or pressure. And remember, everything that you do is not going to always feel purpose-aligned. It doesn't mean that it's not important in getting you to your goal. And it can feel difficult to determine what those things are. And so I'm going to invite you to try this reflection today. Ask yourself the question, what are 3 things that I am doing currently out of obligation and not alignment? This kind of clarity is powerful. It helps you make small intentional shifts instead of getting stuck in all or nothing thinking. You can also think, if I couldn't do this task for whatever reason, then who could? When you have that sense, it is easier to turn to someone when you need help. And remember, it's okay to need and ask for help. And as you're thinking about these items, think about, are they really serving me in getting to my ultimate goals? Now, you might be thinking, that's great, but what am I actually supposed to reflect? This is a constant question I had for myself. And I get it. We are busy. We are really busy. But here is the counterintuitive truth. You find clarity by slowing down, not by doing nothing, but by pausing long enough to do what matters and to do what matters on purpose. When I paused to enjoy my coffee instead of diving into emails, I was able to plan better. When I really stopped to listen to my daughter, she felt heard and she didn't find the need to interrupt me as much. When I slowed down with my learners, I was able to respond more effectively and understand what they were getting at from the beginning. Although it's counterintuitive, slowing down gave me the space to ask, what actually matters right now? And that question changed everything. And it actually meant that I was as productive without feeling as stressed. Now, if any of this resonated with you, if you are tired of feeling exhausted and like you can't let go of anything, then I created something for you. This is my free on-demand masterclass called Pathway from Chaos to Calm. And because I understand your time frustrations, it's only about 30 minutes. Inside this masterclass, I will walk you through how to spot the real drains on your time and energy, and how to reclaim your time without guilt, and how to set boundaries that actually stick. It gives you a pathway for moving forward. It is practical, and it is designed for people just like you. And you can watch it whenever you are ready. The link is in the description to this video. Now, I want to leave you with this. You do not need to do more. You need to do what matters and be able to let the rest go. The first step, though, is reflecting on what is it that truly matters. Remember, you are not alone in this. You do not have to carry everything. And yes, you can find space for purpose, peace, and presence again. And I'm happy to help you on that journey. Thank you for being here, and I hope you will take that first step towards calm. I will meet you there.